jeshi lake, atuwinda toka nyuma. Kwa imani hatulegei, bali tunasonga mbele. Sitwai nama kwako, sala zetu Bwana twazileta kwako, tusikie Mwokozi tunapojaribiwa. Sitwai nama kwako, sala zetu Bwana twazileta kwako, tusikie Mwokozi tunapojaribiwa. Kama mti kando ya mto, hivyo ndivyo mimi nilivyo. Usiniache ninyauke, uninyunyizie maji, ninawiri kwa pendo.
Eden Duare na boigo Apram Kiture kindi kinigo banyako bakwirana amabaga ari baringe buna abawaziri na boigo umurebwense Dr. William Samuel Ruto nikanyako bakakwana emerubiri emekanu ye serikali yanyako bakubeka ensemo yokonekinga ensi ya Kenya nikunyako bakegoska uchigosi na boigo opomo bwa Azimio moja wani Kenya Alliance orobotu rwabwatu kwa amuru muraibu kyama kawaipa aiga Kenya Kalonzo Musyoka nigatebiri ngamba uchukubwaterana amona Kenya kwanza kwa sia serikali. Nagusugwiri nagukwarigania umwanju murigeri andonse asuri goja SMS ito ya mangana maya indetinya kauto gusanga na kwimanya asinche yugoikanu ali abere ko bakagwatika kura chingo ngonyi chinse anene mono una umurabwinsi Dr. William Samuel Ruto anyara ko bagakozokia amarieta hegati y'abawaziri barabura cyikunyako bakumbwatisia emeremo isaranso iketunya kauto kwimanya asinche yugoikanu iriane nikonkuru kwa Hesbon Bosi nabo igo eyemo aseyemo ngokomye kwika asi nyumba yo Bora State House yikunyako bakegotoka ime emuchi o Nairobi abo asomora bwense Dr. William Samoei Ruto anyariko bakakobwatoka amarieta aba waziri 11 abarachikunyako bakomubwatesia ase chi sector aho ase serikali aya korengana amona bari anyariko bakagochora noyo renge umwaziri w'oburendi bw'ime moske Abraham Kithure Kindiki yanyako bakagochora ase semo area interior naboigo LT niganyako bakakomuchora Debra Balasa naboigo Rand niganyako bakakomuchora Haris Waome asensemo ya education niganyako bakakomuchora Julius Ugamba uyolenge running mate ya Ezekiel Machogu bali kunyako bakoria ekirugu ky'obugavana ime county ya Kisii naboigo asensemo ya defense niganyako bakakomuchora Eden Duare uyolenge ase sector eyo asikwenda nyako bakakoirana naboigo agriculture onyarako bakagochora Andrew Muia Karanja ayonyako bakagochora Umoya asensemo ya environment Soipan Tuya niganyako bakakoirana ekirugu keri arenge naboigo asensemo ya water niganyako bakagochora Eric Murithi uyonyarako bakagochorwa muwaziri Umoya asensemo ya transport niganyako bakagochora Davis Chirichiri uyolenge asensemo area y'umurero imesi ya Kenya naboigo ICT Margaret Nyambura niganyako bakakobekwa asensemo yo naboigo kuirali bagari aye Eliud Owaro naboigo umurabwense igateba una abune gatia abawaziri bali arachikunyako gusibarachukunyako bakumubwatisi nande asakagere ikigocha asarachukunyako bakakubwatuka amarietande y'abawaziri.
For these reasons, I have consulted extensively on one, the need to enhance, broaden, and deepen the national economic turnaround plan set out in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda to incorporate a wider range of ideas, programs, and interventions that will facilitate job creation, robust debt management, enhanced transparency and accountability in the use of public resources, and enhance domestic resource mobilization and optimize public expenditure in a manner that gives all of us a chance to live within our means. Consequently, I have started the process of forming a new broad-based cabinet to assist in driving the urgently needed and irreversible transformation of our country. I nominate the following first batch of 11 individuals for consideration and approval by the National Assembly for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries and Attorney General. Ministry of Interior and National Administration, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Ministry of Health, Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza. Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development, Alice Wahome. Ministry of Education, Julius Migosi Ogamba. Ministry of Defense, Aden Bare Duale. Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Dr. Andrew Muia Karanja. Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Roslinda Soipan Tuya. Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, Eric Murithi Muga. Ministry of Roads and Transport, Davis Chircher. Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy, Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndungu. Attorney General, Rebecca Miano. I am continuing to undertake consultations across the political divide on the balance of cabinet that I will appoint shortly. The consultations are at an advanced stage, and internal processes in various sectors are underway to facilitate my appointment of the balance of this cabinet. Additionally, I will be issuing next week a clear roadmap on the assignment that the new cabinet is going to have, with clear timelines and deliverables for us to harness the tremendous potential that exists in our nation and drive our country to greatness. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Wego katigarite asenkwana yo muraiwensi Daktari William Samoei Ruto awuritanga niganya koboka okwana igore ya serikali yae awego kweranga nige ibigite imirubiri imekani yo kwanikenga economy na boigo okonyora amabaga guchi ase akegori eke anamono kemanyikante na chenzi achikunya koboka gutoka kubwatikana amone mirubiri eri nyari koboka kubika ensemo.
This time the country has engaged in a difficult public conversation, providing an opportunity to reflect deeply on the relationship between fundamental rights and democratic freedoms, our collective aspirations for prosperity and efforts to secure opportunities for all, and the imperative to advance national sovereignty and the security of the state. In this discourse, the people of Kenya have expressed their views on governance, development, economic management, national finances, and many other aspects of our nationhood. It is of utmost importance that the government takes measures to affirm our commitment to actualizing the people's aspirations, assure citizens that the state exists to serve them efficiently and with integrity, and to signal to all that our national values and principles of governance are the foundation of our national dispensation. The issues that have come to the fore requiring expeditious attention as matters of urgent priority include an accelerated program to significantly increase our food production and agricultural sector development, in addition to the interventions that we already have, so as to reduce the cost of living and enhance food security in our country. And together with it, to provide requisite raw materials for our value addition, our manufacturing, and our industrialization agenda. The need to expand existing job creation opportunities and programs, and to create new interventions to address unemployment in order to absorb thousands of unemployed young people and provide them with gainful employment opportunities. The necessity of a public conversation on innovative, prudent, transparent, and accountable use of public resources, along with people-friendly mechanisms for domestic resource mobilization and reducing public expenditure in a manner to make sure that we live within our means. Number 4, the imperative of addressing the significant challenge of public debt by establishing and implementing very clear mechanisms to reduce public borrowing and insulate.
Kagosio aboritangani obomobwa azimio romoja wa Kenya Alliance ni gonya koboko bwatoka inkwana yabo asikiri banya kobago teguna tibago kunya kobako bwatana amone serikali ya Kenya kwanza korosia serikali orobotu ruanya korogo somwa amuno muraibu kyama kyawe pa Kenya aiga Kenya kanozo msioka igatebanga ebyama bikorosi obomobwa azimio romoja wa Kenya Alliance niko bitachi kunya kobiko bwatana nchiri ndionsi yo kwa Kenya ngoso abari ase serikali yo umurai bwense Dr. William Samoei Ruto aburi tangani ko banyako bakora egikaro asikonde ikiamagia ODM gitanya ko bakiko wakilishwa igati byama byanyako bigwikana aro ikiamagia na Kenya gikunya ko bikora na Mata Karua ikiamagia DAP Kenya na boigo ikiama kia Jubilee ni kiama kia Wiper kianya ko bakiko wakilishwa amonu murai yo Kalonzo Musyoka.
Respective National Executive Council sessions to discuss the proposed Kenya Kwanza-led broad-based government of national unity. The Wiper Democratic Movement, Jubilee Party, DAP Kenya, Party of National Unity, PNU, NAC Kenya, and we want to add even ODM had their parliamentary group meeting at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation. So now, number one, we shall not participate in or support the proposed Kenya Kwanza-led broad-based government of national unity, because this is a betrayal of the Kenyan people, particularly Gen Z and millennials, who are paid the ultimate price to rid this country of the disastrous Kenya Kwanza regime, their harsh taxes, finance bills 2023-2024, corruption, tribalism, unemployment, and the continued high cost of living. We shall not join for the straightforward reason that such actions are betrayal of the ideology, values, and tenets of both our coalition party and our constituent parties. As long as the Kenya Kwanza regime remain in place, absolutely nothing will change. A cabinet reorganization and changing of office holders will only be cosmetic. Unless, and I want to add this, unless that new cabinet will take place after what, and this is something we need to really reflect on, after what our leader, Honorable Raila Odinga, has called a convention, not a dialogue. Following that convention, then there can be engagement with regard to interim arrangements of a government of national unity. And as transitional government of national unity, following resolutions of a convention. Number three, should any of our members opt to join the proposed Kenya Kwanza-led broad-based government of national unity, we shall not be party to that decision. They will actually only be joining in their individual capacities, not on behalf of Azimio. Finally, we reiterate our public position that when it comes to siding with Gen Z and the Kenyan people versus the Kenya Kwanza regime, our decision is as obvious as day and night. We will always side and stand with the people of Kenya. God bless Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party.
Mwancho murigiria inyoni go kento kubwatia mangana mayakuru amazing. First of it na gusika uchigosio mu Archbishop w'ikanisa y'Anglikana aga Kenya Jackson Olsabiti ninganya koboga kubura umura bw'inse Dr. William Samoei Ruto anya koboga kwa nikinga ngo tumekali bageriga ryo korosia iparaza y'abawaziri gira cyane koboga ko mukonya asukura insi ya Kenya. Aburi Tanganyika ukwana amuna bariki amangana Olsabiti ninganya koboga kubura umura bw'inse aligererie ngambanduki akunyara koboga ko chorata aligiringa nabasani bae bari kunde anya koboga kurigeria abantu babwate amararo nabo baranya koboga konya insi ya Kenya kubwate kana amono bumanyi bwabo asense moyende ninganya koboga komokia ense moya banyimbo abarokana bagotumika chinguru chetaniti ekerengo chinga kichogo severekania abantu bari kunyara koboga kurubikana anemono ukurubikana ko ari kunyara koboga kurawo amone kiumbe kemanyikante buna chenzi.
On any misdeeds, let us all translate our faith commitments into action. As a church, we commit to uphold accountability and defend the pulpit from abuse or misuse of all kinds. Dear Kenyans, based on our discussions and reflection, we would like to make the following prayers and this call to the nation. We commend the young people and support their clamor for accountability, good governance, and equal access to opportunities and delivery of services. Standing with them, we say no to a culture of impunity, corruption, continuous violence, tribalism, poor services, delivery, especially on essential sectors like health, education, and agriculture. We want to honor all those who lost their lives, the injured, and anyone who have lost their property. We remember all who died during the current protest and convey our deepest condolences to their families and friends. We also pray for quick recovery to all who are injured and stand with all who are mourning at this point in time their lost ones and even those who lost their property. We are dismayed by the police brutality, arbitrary arrest, and we demand an end to extrajudicial killing and use of excessive force against peaceful protesters. We also call for immediate arrest and prosecution of top officers who issue orders to kill. The rule of law must apply across board and to all who have done anything wrong against any Kenyan. In the same vein, we demand that abductions must stop, and those held in police custody must be released immediately or produced in court for possible prosecution if there is any criminal against anyone. In this regard, let the police be allowed to enforce the law and order without political interference. The emerging trends of arresting and abducting of Kenyans who hold contrary opinions must stop. Freedom of speech and of the press. We must uphold. Each and every one of us has a right to information, and we want to urge the government to allow all agencies that are providing information to Kenyans to do that without intimidation. We condemn the recent act where media personnel were attacked in a broad daylight. We say no to harming of anyone who is informing Kenyans.
Waigo obomo bwabariki amangana aiga Kenya ni gabanya ko bagwesokia na koimunganiria kubwatikana amone bikore byogocherera abariki amangana bogo ko target kwa chinga kichiri ba kunyara ko bako digia amangana amaya chinga kicho korobekana ba kwana amona bariki amangana rero mapema ni gabanya ko bako rania ege kore kyo gwochererwa kwa igati abariki amangana na boigo abariki amangana rero mapema ni gabanya ko bago tangu mbanya ko bagwika ase amagacho yebunge kubwatikana amon nukuchikwa okukwanya kwa gukurugwa amatuko make anyariko bakagweta abaliki abo ni kubara kunya kwa kwenda ase amagacho yebunge erinde gochikonyora orboti urwikanu igorurwe committee yechibesa yagenderete ase ebunge eyo waigoni gobanya ko bagotabuna eserikali nirebya nyako bakiwekani chira chiribanya to bakurira abakenya na boigo ekyombekyo kigego chikunya kwa kigo isaransa chingaki abaliki amangana bako Kenya.
This country being led by young Kenyans who are dissatisfied in the manner in which the affairs of this country are being run. And as the media, we have received threats, and also we are being intimidated to go slow on how we are doing our work. We are aware that Communication Authority has reached out to media houses, especially the broadcast media, warning them that if they continue with the live coverage, then they'll be shut down. So that is why we've called at this press conference to warn that if that happens, the biggest casualties will be the citizens of Kenya who will be denied their right to receive information. So we are telling CA that they cannot use an old law to enforce some of the things they're trying to do. 2 days ago, we received a notice signed by David Mugonyi, the CEO of Communications Authority, trying to remind the media of some of the things that the media is supposed to do using an old law that was enacted in 1998. So you can see where some of these guys belong. They still belong to their old era, where they believe that the government has the direct control on what the media is doing. So we have told the media houses to ignore that notice, and of course there's an earlier notice with contempt, whatever the CA is trying to do, because you have a new constitution, and the new constitution gave that responsibility to the Media Council of Kenya to look at how the media is operating as a regulator.
We were kwenda bungeni. 2 days later, ahadi ambayo walikuwa wameitoa kwetu sisi kama viongozi katika sekta ya wanahabari imetibuka. Leo asubuhi tulikutana na viongozi kutoka idara ya usalama humo nchini. Bado ikawa ni ahadi tu, tutafanya, tutatenga, tutatenda. Hadi lini? Tunataka kuona vitendo. Muda wa kuzungumza umepitwa na wakati. Tunataka kuona vitendo. Huwezi kutueleza kwamba utahakikishia wanahabari usalama wao, nitahakikisha kwamba hakuna yeyote atatishwa. Tunataka kuona kile ambacho unakifanya hata kabla tuketi katika mazungumzo. Na si kwamba tunasema mazungumzo ni kitu kibaya. Tunayapokea mazungumzo kwa moyo mkunjufu. Lakini tupate kufanya haya mazungumzo kukiwa na mwelekeo thabiti. Kwamba mlikuja kwetu mkatueleza mwanahabari wetu amejeruhiwa, tumechukua hatua, afisa aliyehusika amechukuliwa hatua, yule mkuu wa kile kituo cha polisi ambako Macharia Gaitho alitekwa nyara amechukuliwa hatua. Si kutueleza mtasema, mtatenda, mtafanya.
Nabogo ikiombe kya Kenya National Union of Teachers nigo Kenya kwa kiwakira serikali mbya muno asoko bwato kachibesa chire 10 billion gochi ase usasi kiombe kiryo kurikia abarimu aiga Kenya Teacher Service Commission korengana amono moriki omone bw'ikiombe kyo Collins uyu ni kanya kwa kawatabuna ekini gitambukero ikiakira kikunya kwa kwani kinga omochando buburemeru abarimu ase school no kikunya kwa kwara kubwatikana nga abarimu bono niko bara kikunya kwa bakuriku asense muyende ni kanya kwa kuboria abarimu kanya kwa abatoreru inde serikali nya kwa kigwikirania chingwana chibanya to bakora ana mono gwikirania igangeria CBA kuna banya to bakoigwana chinga kibanya to bakora chingwana amoni kiumbe ekyo.
Our concerns, which were also the concerns of the Education Committee, was about the reduction of the 10.3 billion of the TSC budget. Now, this would have meant that TSC would only be allowed to pay salaries alone, and much of what was expected, and especially the implementation of the second phase of the amended CBA 2021-2025, teachers were going to get nothing. On the same, the medical cover for teachers, that the third phase of the medical cover was to go. That is by December. And again on the same, this reduction would adversely affect the employment of more teachers. And the worst part of it is the fact that the confirmation of the 46,000 interns would be nowhere.
Uyakima umwanju morigere wikaraga bunondo chingo kunyaka munyabutora amangana mayakuru asegetasini kega konyuma ntararu asembe onganchire ndanya kwa ginkurikiriya SMS chichanya kwa chigo tuikiraga iga kubwatikana buna abakenya banya kwa bakubwatuka ebirengere byabo ase ogochorwa kwigatia abawaziri abarachikunya kwa bakumubwatisia umuraibwense ruchingo yoga ni gakurukwa Julius Ugembo kurachinsemo chicha Ugembo yakunya kwa bakatebanga umuraibwense igabwente anyara kwa bakagochora abawaziri abaya abakurwa isikona ne batari aba na siasa kurindeta nyako bakakwire ni bari barenge araro abo igo uyigani gakoruko Kennedy kurachinsa mo kiri cyari ukindo nigagoteba nga muntu ataitanya kobaga kwirina ase baraza yaba waziri Abraham Kithure Kindiki na ndu yunya kobaga kwirina ase ministry area ya yoborendi bwa ime oyondo chinga nigakorukwa nga masi kurwa chinsemo chiri chia riotoigo nigakonyara kobaga gwakira umuraibwense nga mbuya mono asokoirania Kithure Kindiki dochenga abantu abangi nigo babwate ebirengere nga Kithure Kindiki nya kobaga kwirana dochenga ase ensemo gusasa mtanda olia oye uyolenge running mate y'umuwaziri umukuru ase ensemo ere ya education Julius Ogamba nigakonya kabuga kumwakira umuraibwense mbuya mono asokomo chora ase ekeruge ekyo kyokoba umuwaziri bw'ichisemi imensi ya Kenya aibine katiye birengera biri abakenya bagenda kuna kubwatuka gochaka iga ase studio na naboko genda gusanga na into ibirengera bya gwetera ase nambe yira ase screen gabo ende tinya kabato kumanya ine ahenga kikwanya kabwo kwirira engane yiga yo muraibwense Dr. William Samuel Ruto gochora abawaziri abaya abwasanya kabaga koreni abawaziri batano noyomo ase kurinda nya kabaga gochora abawaziri batano abaya ande amabaga ande atigarite y'abawaziri ayayiga atigarite ngayi otaite agende ndo chinga oyoiga nigatararika iritaria agoteba nga kuru asensemo ya Nyanza nitakirina tinyore umuwaziri onde omuya ane moro kuru ase chinsemo chiri cha ruo Nyanza timaiti nga irudi wana cyanyara ko bagakwirana agocha ase balasa y'abawaziri eyibigani birengere bya kunyako bagakubwatuka wikira buno kunyabutura amangana mayakuru ase gitasini kiga iriane ni konkuru kwa espon bosire tanyako to kubwatana amonere Lopini Jonas Siango kuru asensemo ya kabri studio yunyara ko bagakwani kinga chibicha amonere ogicha nyako bachiko ikira gapo asore